Hey, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's ready for a little bit of Golang Gamedev. Let me check the chat real quick before I... Yeah, hi everybody, how's everything going? Cyberlita bot says, I'm doing wonderful. Glad to hear that. Excellent. Always glad to have people doing really well. Okay. Whoops. Let me do that. Let me just... All right, so in case you don't know who I am, you shouldn't, because I'm nobody. I'm SolarLune. I am somebody who likes making video games. I like programming. I like doing art and music, and yeah, I like doing all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so how's everybody doing? Once again, let's see. Christian Muehlhauser says, hey there, great, doing great. Yourself? I'm doing well, thank you. And yeah, I'm glad to have somebody ask how I'm doing. That's nice. Let's see here. Okay, so let's get some music going. What kind of music? I'm just looking over my folder of music. On air tomorrow. Sycamore. Let's go with Sycamore. And let me make sure that this is actually audible. Nice and quiet. Should probably be about right. Negative 30 dB is probably good. Let's see. Let's make sure that this loops. Yeah, cool. All right, so this is good for now. All right, so hi. So yeah, before I begin, there's a couple things. One, I guess as a little bit of an update, this usually I stream every week on the weekend, but I'm doing this basically midweek because I got some time off, so I'm just I'm resting basically, which is nice. So I'll stream today, and then I'll probably stream also possibly on Thursday. I'll have to see about that. But hey, 2 streams a week, that'd be nice. I have a Discord server, so if you're watching this late, you can actually see that. Whoops, that's actually not it. Let me. I posted it in chat. That's not the Discord server at all. That's something else entirely. That's the link to this stream itself. But yeah, there should be a link to the disc. Actually, maybe it's not in the. I was gonna say in the description, but it might not be there. Let me see. Let me just do a quick check. Something else that's kind of interesting is that it looks like YouTube did kind of a change in how they handle live streaming, and so you'll actually get a playback. Yeah, okay, I don't have a link to the Discord server. No. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I'll actually. Like you'll actually get a live playback apparently of the chat while we're video streaming, so that's nice. That's really nice, just like Twitch does. It's a cool feature. Yeah, cool. So let's see here. Oh yeah, another thing that's kind of happened recently is that my computer, I did an update and something happened to it. I'm not sure exactly what, but it didn't go well, and like now it doesn't quite boot the same, so I might have to go ahead and like reinstall my operating system or something. I'll have to see about that. That's not fun, but that's life. I don't know exactly what happened or why, but it just kind of suddenly came upon my computer. So that's always fun. But fortunately, I'm still able to boot up my computer and everything. Nothing was lost. It's just something that's happening. So weird. Yeah, so anyway, let's see. Irving Rivas says, yo, SolarLune, are you open for pixel art commissions? Yeah. Basically, yeah. I don't really advertise anywhere that I'm open for commissions, but if you have something that you want me to do art for, please hit me up, email me, and let me know. All right, so this is something that's a little bit different. I started basically making this kind of thing, this little game in raylib, with Go rather, and raylib. It's a different game than what I was working on previously. So I was gonna work on this a little bit more because the game that I was working on previously is kind of a story-based game, so I have to think about the story a lot, and I haven't done that. So this should be something a little more interesting, where it's something a little more like immediately approachable rather than seeing me just like work on GUI and stuff. It's a little bit of a change of pace. Let's see here. Let me just look over some more information. There's something I wanted to check out. Over on my stream. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, I'll show a little bit of what I made in raylib previously, a little bit later for those who might be coming a little bit later. But for now, I'll just show basically what I have right now. So this is basically a game where you control a cloud. That's it. You control a cloud and you'll be able to rain on things, possibly with different weather, like rain, snow, things like that, lightning, but I'm not sure. I started off with lightning, and I thought that instead of being a overtly violent game, something a little more kind of smooth might be good. Something a little more kind of interesting. So you can left click to rain, and your cloud color changes as you lose water. So right now there's basically just one kind of amount of rain. I have to make it so that you can actually get more by, I don't know, either sucking up water or just over time. But yeah, you left click and it rains. Cool. Let's see. All right, so that's the general idea. Also, I didn't see this. Victor Necromancer, okay, donated a Russian dollar. Thank you very much for that. I genuinely do thank you. That's a lot. Means a lot to me. Thank you. That's quite it's quite cool. Quite cool. So yeah, this is a cool little idea for a game. Something kind of not overtly, not about violence, not really about conflict, but rather kind of like something where you just kind of control something and maybe explore. I'm not sure. Cyber Leaderbot says, nice idea. By the way, glad you're doing well. Thank you. And yeah, this is kind of what I wanted to do also, was kind of an idea that was a little bit more, pardon me. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit more kind of abstract and stylish, with more of a focus on a mechanic rather than a lot of mechanics or a lot of story or anything like that. Just something that's fun, and basically just that. Leonard Mayer says, thanks for streaming. Thank you. No problem for streaming. Glad to have people pop by and let me know how they like the streams or how they like my channel. He also mentions absorb other clouds. That's an interesting idea. I kind of like that. Absorb other clouds. That's actually, I kind of like that. Kind of like that idea. Let's see. Let's see. Banjo Media says internet sucks. So here's something. So here, hope to see some bangers. Thank you, Banjo Media. I appreciate that. He donated $2. Thank you. That's again, that means a lot. Thank you. Oh man, hope to see some bangers. All right, let me see. I do have a banger. I do have a banger on tap for you. Let me boot that up in Sunbox. Let's see. I have a few bangers. Let me. I don't know if I want some. I'll ask you, Banjo. Would you like Cyberpunk banger or would you like hip hop banger? You choose. Let me know. Let's see. If you're still here. If your internet hasn't just crashed. Irving says, I wrote to SolarLune@gmail.com. That's correct. On July 12th. It should be from my first name. Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. Sorry about that. I don't answer my emails that often because I don't expect people to email me about stuff. So it's kind of a catch-22. I'll have to check it out. Thank you for emailing me. I'll look at that. Hopefully I'll remember. So what we're going to do here I guess I'll kind of go over the... Excuse me. I'm just like coughing. Well, not coughing, but my throat's just like tickling. Let's see. Oh yeah, so basically I'll go over the code that I have so far a little bit, so I can explain, kind of walk over the code I have and explain what I have so far. Let's see. Also something that I learned recently. Irving says, I want to give you money in exchange for work. Yeah, dude, I have to check that out. Christian Muhlhauser says, any chance you can increase your font size a bit for us? Absolutely. That's something else I forgot to mention is I changed the encoding settings for my, we'll go with 18. Oh, okay, I need to actually do this. I changed the encoding settings. We'll go with 18, I suppose. Is that little, we'll go with maybe 24. That might be a little bit better. That's too big. Oh no. Okay, so 18 was the original, right? Was it 18 or was it 14? Okay. We'll go with 18. 18 is pretty good. Yeah, 18 is pretty good, I think, for now. 20 might be good. Okay, let's go with 20. Christian Muhlhauser says Control plus mouse wheel. I tried that, but yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to do anything right here. It does in other programs, but just not anywhere here. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to do that on other programs. I mean, on other platforms, but just not on Linux. It doesn't. Possibly. So basically, I'm using Visual Studio Code for my code editor, and raylib and Golang for actually making the game. Banjo Media says, this is why I wanted to know the next time I was saving you that money, so don't spend it all in one place. I'll be sure to. All right, let's listen to a banger. Let's listen to a nice banger. This is gonna be a Cyberpunk banger. I'm gonna turn it up slightly. Yeah, so that's a nice little banger. That's a nice little chiptune cyberpunk banger. Okay, and then let's also cover the other side of the coin. Since you requested bangers, we will go with another banger of some description. Okay, yeah, let's go with this. Well, this one's not that great. No. Okay, let's go with that one, the original one. That's fine. Yeah, so like, yeah, so I can make bangers here and there. I can make bangers here and there. I have to improve on them, but they're definitely in the territory of the banger. All right, so let's get back to what we're doing. Okay, so Eunice Tufan says, sounds neat. Hi, by the way. Hello, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so this is this basically this kind of cloud game, and currently what I'm doing is I'm drawing the screen to a render texture, and then filtering that with point filtering so that it gets, you know, looks really sharp, and then I upscale it and draw it over the screen. This basically allows you to actually see kind of render at a fixed resolution, so that even if you make it full screen or anything like that, it's still, you know, nice and chunky. Whereas if you didn't do that, basically there's no concept of a world, so to speak. You can't see my fingers, but I'm doing the finger thing where, like, you know, air quotes. But basically, actually let me pull this up. Okay. Basically, yeah, that's kind of what the concept is behind that. I'll show what it looks like without that. If we don't actually begin texture mode and end texture mode, if we just draw straight to the screen, it looks basically the same like that. But then once you actually make it bigger, yeah, see, it's fixed to ignore the cursor, but like it's just a small screen. It's just like a huge world basically. But once we're drawing to a texture and then upscaling from that, that's what gives us the nice, chunky, upscaled look. Cool. Let's add the ability to restart. I'll make it a little easier to prototype. So the way we're gonna do this is basically we need like a game world. That way we can restart just by creating another world. So that's what we'll do. We'll make a world. Oops, let's close that. We'll make a world struct, and we'll make a function that makes a new world and returns it. Returns. Wait a second. Yeah. Well, we'll just, yeah, returns a world. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with Go, oh wait, hold on. Leonard Mayer posted a umbrella and rain emoji. That's very, very topical. Banjo says, my brother is absorbing all the bandwidth, so I'm probably gonna have to review the stream. Oh, sorry to hear that, man. All right, well, that's okay. It'll be uploaded to YouTube as usual, so that anyone who's interested can review it later. So please do check it out later when you can. So the idea behind this game, like I mentioned, we're going to make this world, and that's going to contain basically our objects. So when we make a new world, we can basically destroy the old world or just get rid of the old world, and that essentially restarts the entire thing. So we're going to move the clouds from this variable here into the world. So we're going to cut those out and put it in here. So we have clouds. So basically, this word clouds is basically the variable in the world struct that represents, you know, our cloud instance. And then this is the class itself, the clouds class. So this really could just be like, oops, didn't mean to bump the microphone there. This could really be like C, we'll say, just to make it a little more visible. So when we actually go to create it, we just say w.c, or for actual visibility, for actual readability, w.clouds equals new clouds, because I already made a function that creates a new cloud instance, as you can see, and makes it. So we don't actually have to have a pointer to clouds. This is something that I found out recently, but we don't. I'll show this a little bit. Well, I'll show this a little bit later. We'll just work with this for now. Hold on. Okay. Alright, now we're going to make a function that basically runs on the world, that updates it, which means updating all the objects inside of the world, like the clouds, and draws it, which it means drawing all the objects inside the world, like the clouds. So we'll do like this, func, and we'll make a receiver, w, world, draw. Why did I do it like that? And then we'll make another one, func, w, world, update. Okay, now, let's see, do we actually have to, well, I'll leave that alone. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and add in here the dt argument. That basically is just delta time. We pass that to the objects, and then we just access them and call update with dt. And call draw. That's it. Now when we go to main, all we have to do is say world equals new world, and then world.update dt, and world.draw here, and that's it. So there's no fundamental change here. We can still play the game just like normal, but now what we can do is say if raylib.isKey pressed, and we'll say r world equals new world. So that just basically fundamentally restarts the game by just basically reloading the game world. Now the cool thing about this is this fundamentally is a very simple way to do this, but this allows you to actually have a kind of an idea of what's the word? Levels or states or universes in a sense. So for example, we could say let's say we wanted multiple worlds, like you could switch between them on the fly or something like that. So we could say world 1, we'll just go like that, world 1 equals this, world 2 equals this, and then we'll just say world equals a pointer to world 1. So now what we can do is say if you press A, point to world 1, but if you press B, point to world 2. So we're in world 1 right now. Now we're in world 2. And if we move the cloud over here and switch back to world 1, yeah, we're in this entirely other world. No no fuel, no rain in the cloud over here, but we have rain in the cloud over here. Cool. So that's always a nice little trick. Pointers are really nice. Cool. All right, so now we are back to where we started, where you can restart the game by pressing R. Now we need to basically, I feel like it would be nice to be able to suck up water or combine clouds. Either one of those options would be nice. So I guess, that's a good, I'm not sure which one of those would be a good approach to things, because it seems like they're both solid approaches to the core gameplay. To suck up water or to combine clouds. Well, maybe we could do both, right? Like you rain on stuff, and maybe when things get rained on, they create clouds, and you can suck up those clouds to therefore become bigger. And maybe the goal is to become big enough, like Katamari Damacy. Maybe that's the idea. Cyberleadabot says, super cool, thank you. The Wise Tim says, maybe you have a button to summon the sun, evaporating water, and make a cloud. That's a good idea. Also a good idea. That's kind of an interesting, kind of mixture. Well, I came up with this idea originally, not for the cloud, I mean the sun, but rather to be able to rain different things. Like you can rain, you can precipitate rain, you can precipitate snow, possibly, or lightning. What if shooting lightning on water made it evaporate and turn to a cloud? That's an idea. Let's see. Banjo Media, because I mean, having a button to summon a sun feels kind of like a screen-wide thing, unless it was like a mini sun, a small sun. I don't know. That's something to think about. I have to kind of consider that. Kristen Muehlhauser says, combining clouds sounds a bit like Loco Roco. I've never played it, but the graphical style looked pretty amazing. Like really simple, really clean. Not simple, but really clean and like simple in a good way. Not simple like low effort, but simple like they wanted to go for simple. And it's very appealing to have a simple design, simple characters. If I'm thinking of the right 2D, or am I thinking of Patapon? No, I think I'm thinking of Loco Roco. Now I gotta look it up. It's that game, yeah, Loco Roco. Okay, yeah, it's that like 2D like flat, yeah, almost, yeah, perfect. Okay, that's this, yeah. Okay, I'm looking at the right one. Loco Roco for anyone who's wondering what I was referring to. Yeah. Very flat but very simple style, but really nice, really well done. Cool. Okay. Let's see. Snow says my pestering on Discord is paying off with more frequent streams. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It just so happened that basically I'm streaming more like right now, but that's not. I can't say that that's how it's going to be for very long. It'll probably go back to my once a week, or maybe twice a week. I don't know. All right. So something I wanted to do here is fix this raindrop sprite. I don't like that trailing out there. All right. So I guess I can explain a little bit more about what I have here. Let's see. So I'm rendering to a screen texture. We have a world now that basically contains everything, so we can easily restart the game. Golang is a garbage collected language. So basically, as long as we stop referring to something, it should be deleted automatically, as long as those references aren't held in memory. So if there's references. So like in this example, when we basically press R, we're creating a new world and assigning it to the world variable. So the previous world that was in there just gets completely forgotten and it's gone, which is nice. Yeah. Here I'm basically I'm setting a variable that holds the position of the mouse. Not because there isn't variables to do that in raylib, there are, but they don't. The position of the mouse is basically according to the window. So like down here it's like 640 by 360. Yeah, but once I make it full screen, then now it's like 1920 by 1080. So we can't use those numbers directly because the screen is basically 640 by 360 all the time. That's why we have this that gets the mouse position but divides it by the screen ratio. So basically it divides it down so that even when it's this big, it's basically like, okay, well, even if it's this big, what's the mouse position on the right hand side of the screen if it were still unmaximized, essentially. That's basically what it's doing. It is just dividing the width of the screen divided by the target width of the game screen, of the kind of, the game window being this kind of upscaled view, and then we get that ratio and divide the mouse position by that ratio. This is pretty basic stuff. We're just basically drawing to the screen texture. We clear the background, draw the game world to the screen texture, and then draw the screen texture to the screen. And we flip it here, because otherwise it will be upside down. As per, I think, OpenGL. So yeah, we flip it, so that makes it nice and easy. Cool. Let's make it so that the cloud actually... I like the idea of it being bigger now. I like the idea of the clouds like growing. I think that's a cool design. a very simple, very appealing idea, because clouds do grow and they do rain, and it's something that everyone knows about. It's very cathartic to some people, very relaxing. I like rain, so yeah, I think I like that idea of basically it's raining and growing. Those kind of two concepts. Not necessarily rain, but raining in general. All right, so we have a general idea of what we're going to do with this. Let me check the chat real quick. Christian Muehlhauser says, you can just refer to me as Muesli before getting not in your tongue. All right, thank you. I'll try to remember to call you Muesli. I might forget. Just try by your name. This is how the cloud is controlled. It's controlled by the mouse. That's not really a good idea. I mean, because that it's just, it doesn't really add anything to control it by the mouse. I feel like it would be better, now that I think about it, to just control it by, you know, the keyboard or game controller rather than controlling it by the mouse. It's like, why like this if you're still controlling this? Like, if you're controlling the cloud, why are you controlling the mouse? Why do you have a cursor? Unless you can, like, shoot things at the cursor, but you can't move apart from the cursor, so there's no point in having a cursor. It's just basically like an extra unnecessary thing, I guess. Maybe? Cool. Alright. So as for how I'm drawing the clouds, in case anyone was wondering, I'm basically drawing... Well, let me go back a little bit. All of my sprites are on this simple sprite sheet, this single sprite thing for all the cloud related things. We have this, which is basically a sphere, just obviously, you know, clearly it's just a circle. This is a circle, just the edges, just the lines. This is the shadow. This is the raindrop. This is the splash, and that's it. So I'm just using this one sprite for now because it doesn't really make sense to make different images for all these individual small little icons, almost images. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm drawing the way that this kind of 3D kind of feeling thing works is I'm drawing the that's so nice. I'm drawing the outlines first, and then I'm drawing the circles in front of it. So I loop through all of the positions of the cloud puffs and say, okay, let's go ahead and draw the cloud here. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and draw the outlines here, and then on the next go around we draw all the cloud puffs. So we can actually see that if we just comment this out. There's all the circles. And then here is all of the circle, the actual cloud puffs. Yeah. So what we're gonna do, it would be kind of interesting if we basically had them get a little bit lighter if they're closer to the camera versus if they're not. Let's see if that actually looks kind of interesting. So we're gonna say C equals cloud color, C.R plus equal pose dot Y U H A. So basically what I'm doing here is just trying this very basic thing to just kind of, oh, actually I have to use it, to just kind of give a visual. That's interesting. So basically, as it gets lower, the cloud changes color. It's very interesting, very nice. But we want it to be basically where it gets brighter the closer it is to the camera, essentially. So what we'll try, this is kind of weird to have the screen be so big. Do that for now. Christian Muesli says, I agree, gravitational mouse cursors always feel weird to control games. Yeah, I want to try something different, but at the same time, I don't like it. I don't like it. Christian says, is Git texture caching things? Otherwise, it might make sense to load cloud.png once and cache the texture. It is caching things. You are correct, and thank you for the suggestion. Get texture is a function that I made. Basically, it's an asset manager of sorts that basically just stores assets in a map, and if it exists, it gives you that asset. Otherwise, it loads the asset proper. So if I say like, oh, I want clouds.png, it says, okay, well, if it doesn't exist, then go ahead and create the asset and store it in the map. Otherwise, go ahead and just give it that. Give it the asset that's from the map. That's nice and centralized. It makes it really easy to get the textures and things rather than having to pass around, like, you know, pass things around. Like if I wanted to have the raindrop, this raindrop sprite on the same image as the cloud sprites, like I do, then I would have to pass in like, oh, here's the clouds image into the raindrop object, because it's a different object, into the raindrop struct rather. So this way it's basically nice and clean. So everything has access to everything, but it's all nice and cached and taken care of. So in case anyone else might be wondering like, oh, like why does that matter, or like, you know, what is it? Well, why is it important to cache images or cache textures? Basically, if I were doing this kind of, not, I guess you could say ignorantly. Wait a second. Oh, this is the outlines. Okay. If I was doing this ignorantly, then I would do something like this: raylib.load texture. And this is bad because, like this says, it loads an image as a texture into GPU memory. So you don't want to do this unnecessarily. You don't want to do it more than once. You want to do it basically just when you need to. And if you have no need for the texture anymore, then you can unload it, I believe. Yeah. But like, you generally want to like actually use it and share it around to save memory. That's what basically a memory leak would be, something like this. Oh, I didn't do that right. Alright, so yeah, this is going to be an actual memory leak. And you can see the game is leaking memory. 83 megabytes, 106 megabytes, 130 megabytes. And this is the memory column. This is Linux, but you know, any operating system basically has the same thing here. Yeah, you can see that the game's leaking memory here, slowly but surely. And the thing is, this, even though this is a memory leak, it won't actually be a problem because Go, like I mentioned, is a garbage collected language. So every frame I'm creating this texture and putting it into the memory of the GPU, after some time, Go is going to go ahead and flush that garbage out. It's going to get rid of it. So it's actually like not catastrophic. It won't like kill the game to do this. But if I were doing this a lot over a lot of objects, it would easily eat up memory, and you know, that's bad. The way that Go works currently, I believe that I will have increasing memory. It just won't be this bad, like where I'm using literally 500 megabytes of memory on a very simple game with like nothing actually there. So let's go ahead and undo that and see how we do with our current approach. Look at that. Nice and clean. 8.9 megabytes. It's basically not getting any bigger. I'm restarting. I'm moving stuff around. The memory is increasing, but it's not increasing nearly at the rate that it was. Let's see. Christian says, actually that depends. If it's turning into C pointers for rendering, then that's out of Golang's control. In that case, you will have to unload texture. Do you mean if it's turning it into C pointers? Oh wait, for rendering. Let me see. I don't know if it is. It looks like it. I guess it is. So I might have to go ahead and basically make something that can clean up all my assets when I no longer need them, which is fine. That's basically, I mean, but even that is something that I wouldn't need to do, because I would have to have a lot of assets to make it to the point where I would need to basically Okay, this could be bad. Yeah, this could be bad because I'm in this function. I allow to reload an asset by basically deleting that asset and then going ahead and recreating it by calling get asset again, which works fine. But if I need to unload it first, then I need to basically actually know if it's like a PNG file or if it's a TTF, and then call raylib.unload. You know, whatever. I guess, yeah, unload sprite font, unload texture, whatever. This is something that you could do like at the end of your game, but there's not really a point to do that. I don't really see the point in unloading assets and things after your game ends, because the game's over. The operating system won't naturally reclaim all the memory. Like, it's not going to just hold memory while the game's over. The game's over. It's going to close it out, and it's going to naturally release all the memory. So I don't really get the point of that. But that seems to be the usual, like, advised thing to do, is to go ahead and unload any, unload any textures or whatever the case you have after the game's over. But again, I don't really see the point because the game's over. So I don't know. I have to look it up and see if that's actually just like good practice or if that's actually necessary. Because it seems like if the game's over, then it's not going to continue executing the game. The operating system will clean it up, and that's going to be the end of your assets. Assets that you've loaded, and that's going to be they're going to get unloaded. So I don't know. Snow Bizarra says, in memory leak is an easy to occur problem. Every time I hear the phrase, I thought you had to do something crazy to have it happen. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's actually very easy to occur. It's kind of, it's very, in languages like Java and Go, it's more easy. It's very kind of lightweight when it comes to, what's the word? Oh yeah, when it comes to like Java and Go and stuff like that, it's very easy to make memory leaks that aren't catastrophic, but in something like a C program or C++, that can be really problematic because you are in charge of allocating memory and deallocating memory. So if something happens where it's like, oh yeah, you're leaking, 500 kilobytes of memory every frame for 60 frames per second, that's going to add up, and it's just going to get going. Whereas with Golang, if it's garbage collected, or Java is if it's garbage collected, it's going to basically try to save it by cleaning up the unused assets and unused data, basically. Unused memory. But Christian makes a good point. He says that basically raylib is calling a bunch of underlying C code to load textures and wraps that in Go structs for your convenience. In that case, Go's garbage collector is not involved. I see. So basically, because it's doing C pointers and things, you're doing manual memory loading and things like that. So when you go ahead and create the load textures or load sprite fonts or anything like that, so it needs to be unloaded if it's going to be properly unloaded over time. But that's only with things to do with raylib specifically. So if you're actually doing if you're making assets and things like that, loading assets and things like that, you need to unload them. But for my purposes, I won't need to unload them because there's not that much assets that are going to be in this game, and you would really only need to unload them if you needed to load other assets in. So like if you load in, let's say a gigabyte of assets, that's a lot. You won't probably have that much in your game. But if you had a gigabyte of assets, you would only need to unload that if you were loading in more assets and you needed that space. But if you only have, a megabyte of assets, then unloading it, it's, as long as you're sharing it, it should be fine. So let's go ahead and go back to what we were doing. What we're doing with the color is this. Alright, so C.R. Okay, so we want to basically make it so that as the clouds come forward, as they go down, they get closer and they get lighter. So this should be relatively easy to do. We just have to basically say y c.position y plus, or rather plus or minus c.height. Oh, wait, C is... Oh, oops, yeah. Got shadowing a little bit here. There we go. Alright, so let's see how that goes. It might be doing it. Let's see. Actually, let's just do this. It's working, but just slightly. So C dot position dot Y minus height minus position dot Y. So C dot position dot Y minus height, that's basically the center point of the clouds. Because the position on the clouds is basically this point where it tries to go to the crosshair, the position of the clouds themselves. Christian says, is uint 8 really enough to store that? Yep, because it's the color itself is just 255. 255. The color struct is 255 for red, green, blue, and alpha. So that's enough for all the colors essentially. But the weird thing is that it seems like this should be. Oh, I see. Okay, never mind. Okay, yeah. So basically, this is kind of what we want. Is it kind of wavering in color, or wait, okay, no, instead of uint 8, what if we just do this, because we want to actually get the numbers themselves. So let's do this so we can actually kind of understand this a little bit better. All right. Okay, so it goes negative, but it goes to 3, roughly to 4, up and 4 down. Times 4. Okay, there it is. All right. So let's say we did this, but plus 4. All right, now it doesn't actually go below, which is good. So if we do this, I genuinely can't see. I genuinely can't see if the colors are changing. We'll just do one raindrop to make this a little, I'm sorry, one cloud to make this a little easier. Yeah, it seems like it's not really changing the color that much. I feel like I would be able to see it better than that, but I can't tell if I'm just insane or what. Let's see. Let's say we wanted to do more. Okay, there we go. Now we're seeing it. Alright, so that's working. So what we want to do then is we want to reverse it because we want it to be lighter in the front and darker in the back. So let's see, minus position that way. So we want this, I guess. There we go. Whoa. It's working. It's working. The only thing that's weird is that it's not drawing them in order. So now it has to draw them in order, actually. Ooh, I'm not sure if I want to go through all of that. Oh my goodness, what? Oh, it's because, okay, yeah. I was like, what in the world? All right. This is cool. All right, all right. Do I want to try it? Okay. How will we draw this in order? We'd have to sort the positions. We'd have to sort them. We gotta sort them. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh wait. Slice. Left positions. So alright, so I think that should work. Let's try that. Yo! What the heck is that? That's weird. Okay, let's draw this. Let's draw the outlines. What the heck is that? Oh, that's weird. That's so weird. I don't know. I don't think I don't think so. I don't think that's what we want. I mean, the color changing is obviously a bug, but like, I don't think that's what we want for the cloud. It looks kind of like a snake or something, like multiple snakes. That's just, yeah, that's not really what we want. All right. Back to normal. Yeah, let's go for just the simple cloud look. Very nice. All right. So here's what we're gonna do, though. What we're gonna do. Oh yeah, I just had an idea for something, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, let's actually color those raindrops a little bit. See how that goes. I like that. That's nice and thematic. Cool. So what we're gonna do, let's fix up the controls because this is kind of weird control-wise. Let's also change up the music. Let's get something else. What? I don't know. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. Alright, so, yeah, right. So let's fix up these controls, because they're kind of trash. Oh, but before I do, I was going to mention this. So for a while, I thought that you basically had to have like, for the while, I thought that you had to have pointers to structs in order to run functions that receive those structs on those structs. So let me explain what I mean. So basically, what I was used to doing was something like this. For raindrop, I guess it would be like underscore raindrop in range c.raindrops drop.update, and that wouldn't work. And it's like, oh, it doesn't work because basically this is a copy of the raindrop. So I have to make it a pointer so that it basically will automatically dereference it. You don't have to do that. I didn't even know. You could just do this and say, basically loop through the raindrops and then just call update on the what's the word? On the struct that's in the array already. Because basically when you assign a variable to it like this, now this is a copy. This is a copy of the raindrop. So calling this won't actually work because it's not in the list. So none of those raindrops fall because this is a copy, because it's not a pointer. So this works. Bananas. So anyway, it's always nice to learn cool stuff like that. So that's nice because now I don't have to worry about pointers and stuff. I have a nice clean looking struct, and if I actually do like something like this, it'll actually give me a list of the raindrops and not a list of pointers to the raindrops. So this is a lot, but the actual raindrop itself is just this data. So if you look at it, you can see, okay, we got the position, we got the height, we got whether they're alive or not, we got the splash timer, and that's it. This, I honestly could do this a little better rather than splash timer. I just do that because it's easy. But yeah, that's really not a good design. That's not a great design. I really could just like not do this. Yeah, let's not, because that's a lot of data. Time.time for this entire thing is a lot. Time struct, it has a lot of data in there that just we don't need to do this. Yeah, it's just unnecessary. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to have a float that represents the splash time, I guess. So we'll do something like this. I feel like this could be compressed more, but I'm just trying to see this here. Just to make it a little easier. Christian says, r.splash time will always be greater than or equal to 0 in line 30. No. I set it to -1 here. There we go. That's better. Now it's not such a huge struct. Now it's much smaller. trying to see if this is like unnecessary, but I can't think of if there's a way to do this any other way. Okay, and the reason why this is kind of, it's awkward, but basically I'm doing this because I want the raindrop to splash and show the splash for a little bit of time. You can see it splashes for like a tenth of a second or something like that. But like that little bit of animation is enough to give the impression that it's actually landing on the ground. Alright, so let's make it so that you can actually suck up water somehow. I don't know exactly how. Oh wait, but wait, before we do that, let's fix the controls because they're kind of trash. Let's also do this. Let's set this up. Do I have input? Okay. So we're gonna define some inputs in here, some input stuff, because this is a good place as they need to do it, I suppose. And then we just have to go in here and actually update the thingamabob. There we go. All right, so that's basically it. Raylib, key, let's see, key left, key right, key up, key down. Don't need this anymore. Don't need this anymore. Don't need. That's fine. All right, so how we're gonna actually control this is a little bit of a weird thing because my movement system that I made right now is based around actually following the mouse cursor, but that's not really good. Like this we could do better. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna redo this basically. All right. Okay. We'll just nuke all of this. This can stay. Yeah. Okay. Don't need that. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna do a couple of things. One thing we're gonna do is add something to basically give us a number back instead of not, because it's a nice little feature to have. Alright, so that's fine. So we'll just do. Cool. So now what we can do is just do this. Move dir.x equals is action down I. Move right. Oh, it's a. Oh, okay. So I have to actually. Hey, we're moving. Minus is action down I, move left. And we'll just do it again for the Y. It's interesting because I've had people say like they don't like it when movement keys cancel each other out, and I completely don't understand why people care. This other way. This is down. This is up. Because it's like, it's so... I mean, like, how often are you going to be pressing both keys at the same time? Or no, I'm sorry, this is correct. When you press both keys, it cancels each other out. What I was thinking of is, I used to do it so that when if you're pressing left and then you press right, it like one will override the other. I didn't get it, but it's not a problem anymore, so never mind. Young Jeezy says, "Hey there, found out about you from your Sunbox and Godot videos. Mad respect, thank you." Alright, so this is moving. Now we just have to actually make it more comfortable. So let's add acceleration. So we say c.moveDeer.x. Well, I guess actually we want to do it like this. Plus equal that times accel. Right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's really slow, but it's, I mean, it's really like floaty, which I guess makes sense. It's a cloud, so it would be floaty. It's so hard. Okay. We want to do friction. So I'll just be lazy and do it this way. X is less than 0, c.moveDeer.x plus equal cell. We'll just say that for now. Okay, so what we're gonna do, again, because I'm lazy and friction is gonna be on all the time, we'll just do like this. Friction is this, accel equals this plus friction. I'm lazy, so again, I'm lazy. Friction, friction, friction. Same for the Y. All right. Weird, but not bad. Friction is fine, I guess. Acceleration could be, yeah, we'll make both a little bit higher. Max speed. Yeah, 128 is probably fine. And we'll do it like this. Math.vector2 normalize. That's not what I'm doing right. Oops. All right. So we want to normalize that. Speed equals math.vector2 length. To scale. Oh, this. Yeah. To scale speed. Or no. C.moveDeer speed. Okay. So we say if speed is greater than max speed. Speed max. Okay, so that should basically do it. It completely didn't do it. Okay. If c.move, if speed is greater than 0, I guess this is probably where I messed up. I can't normalize a vector if it doesn't actually do anything. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's not bad. It's wiggling. It's wiggling because of this. So I need to say less than negative friction. Greater than friction. Or I guess less than or equal to, that's fine. Friction to friction. Alright, so that should basically do it. Nice. We can make it a little bit slower. Let's try that. It's not quite responsive. I think I liked it before like that. It makes it feel more like you're controlling this thing directly. The friction a little bit lower just to make it a little bit more interesting. That's better. It feels more like it's a little bit too much. I think 8 was good. That makes it feel a little bit more like you're controlling a cloud. That's nice. That's nice. All right, so now we just have to actually make it so that you can rain, which we do just by adding a key binding because we already have it set up. Nice. Actually, I wanted to do something, which is basically make it so that it splashes white rather than blue. There we go. Nice. Cool. Now we just have to make it so that you can actually absorb water. See you next time. I'll have to figure out exactly how to do that. There's a couple of things we can do. Firstly, I wanted to make it so that the cloud actually spawns in the center of the screen. So let's do something about that. There we go. Cool. We can make it so that the cloud actually moves a little bit slower, like it spins a little bit slower. Yeah, that's nice. Cool. All right. So the next thing we got to do is actually make it so you can soak up water. Let's see. Well, actually, let's do this a little bit differently. Let me get an idea first. Let's make something that basically you can rain on. Alright, so I'm making the plant here. The plant's just gonna sit there, so we don't have to really do much. We just kind of want to get it like drawing right now. So what we're gonna do is we'll just take the raindrop code because I'm lazy, and we're just gonna copy and paste it. We don't really need any of that actually, just the bit that we care about, which is the plant. And I guess source. We actually don't. Yeah, I guess that's fine. So we'll draw a rectangle. Oops. And we'll just make it white. Okay, position. So it doesn't have positions. Let's add a position to it. Let's say 100 by 100 right now. We'll say 200 by 200. So it actually can be somewhere. We won't actually see it though, because there's no plant in the world. Like a plant. Young TC says, have you ever tried Critic for pixel art? It's magnificent, I assure you. The brush engine is very powerful. I haven't. I tried Critic a little bit just to mess around with it, but I haven't really done anything with it. I know that yeah, it does seem like it's a very powerful program. I just haven't really sat down and done too much with it. Young Jeezy says also he's done that thing where you copy paste a huge section of code and realize you only need like 2 lines out of it. Yeah. 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 Oh, yo, there it is. There's the little plant. We're gonna rain on it. That's cool. Okay, so that's the game. That's basically it. The plant needs to react, and then that's about it. It's gonna be just this raining on different things or interacting with other objects. But basically, you're gonna be raining on stuff. I want whatever it is, splash to last a little bit longer. Let's go for double that time. There we go. All right, so if that's the basic gameplay, is you raining on things, then we just need to basically allow some land so you can actually interact with things. Okay, so let's see, are we gonna have to get into tile rendering or no? Fortunately, I've done that before, so it won't be a big deal if we do. Let's go ahead and make something that you can absorb water from. Wait, I like that idea. Now that I think about it, I like the idea of capturing clouds. But wait, how would, let's see, if you capture clouds, that means that basically as you rain, you get less clouds. So the number of clouds, the number of puffs, correlates to the amount of rain you have. So what's the, well, I guess what I need to figure out is what's the game loop? If the goal is to rain on, let's say, things. If the goal is to rain on things. Goal is to rain on things. Let's fix this up a little bit. I'm just trying to fix it up so that the raindrops aren't all at the same, like, direct location. There we go, that's better. Alright, so if the goal is to rain on things, how do you get more rain? I like the idea of lightning striking things, and that gives you water. But how? Oh, what if you break things in the world and that gives you water? But then you could waste it, right? All right. What if there was puddles? What if there were just little puddles that you could strike with, either strike or absorb to turn it back into? Back into rain. The only thing that I want to avoid is puddles are kind of hard to draw because they're not really something that's there. They're kind of just like, they're not there, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like. Kind of looks like a puddle, I guess. I'm just going to copy the plant because almost all of it is the same. Okay, so the general idea that I have here, and we'll actually just add puddles here. We're gonna add a list of puddles. All right, so this is gonna be pretty bananas. So the idea is basically when you rain, you're going to create puddles that you can then strike with lightning to turn back into water. In addition to being able to strike other things with lightning to get water. To basically like just immediately immolate them and turn them into water. This is gonna be fun. Let's see. Okay, so you can rain. And then I need to make it so that the raindrops create puddles. Wait a second, let's go back. I don't know what the heck is this. This is what the heck. What is this mess? I feel like it could work though. I feel like it could work. That's the crazy thing about it. All right. Also, why do I... Oh, I have it in the cloud. I was going to say, why do I still have the cursor? I don't need the cursor anymore. I don't need any of this stuff anymore. That means I don't need the mouse position either. And that means I don't need the screen ratio either. Well, I'll keep the screen ratio because that could actually be useful. Okay. Alright, so now what we're going to do is when the raindrop dies... what the cloud's going to do... Alright, let's see. Alright, the cloud needs a reference to the world. That's what I'm missing. Whoops. And this would be a reference to the world. Alright, so we want to make sure that we don't ever create it without that reference. So we'll do that. the pointer to the variable. All right. Okay, let's see. It's not do. Oh wait, it is doing it. It just isn't drawing it. Okay, so for puddle in range, I guess I in range w dot puddles I dot update 18, and the same thing for is it actually making them? I don't know. It's not actually making them. So the cloud isn't making them then. So this is a pointer. Yeah, okay, it's a pointer to the world. Pointer to the plant, and then the empty puddles. Is it not adding it? What's going on? Oh, okay. So that's also, yeah, this needs to be here. Okay. But then also, is the puddle, maybe is it not drawing? Let's see. Yeah, no, it's not drawing. Okay. So the puddle is not being added. That's what it seems like. So c.world is pointing to, oh, wait, no. Turn, oh, it's not the same world. Okay. So that's why you have to use pointers. Okay. I think I'm on the right track. Maybe? Yo, okay. Alright, there's a little puddle. Okay. So what we have to do now is just position the puddles. Snow says, wait, hold up. Are you directly importing raylib from GitHub? Golang can do that? That's so cool. Yeah, they can. And I am. It is. It does. It does grab it directly from GitHub. It's nice and easy. Super simple. Like it's like super simple. Like you install Go, you go in and say like go git, and then you type in the URL to raylib or whatever library you want, and then when you import it, it'll use it. Snow Bizarro says when it compiles, it downloads a copy. Yeah, it's downloading a copy of master, I think. Let me see. Gen 2 brain. Gen 2 brain. Right, so I think this is a copy of master, like as it stands. Let's see here. Yeah, I think it's just like, it's, yeah, just a straight up grab of master. Yeah, so it's just like, it's straight up just nabs master and puts it in here, and then Go automatically built it. Kirsten says, no, that's a separate build step. Go clones the repo from GitHub. Yeah, it clones the repo, and then when you actually, let's see, when does it actually build it? Let's just go ahead and test. So what we'll do, we'll just nuke that. Let's say go get this. Okay, so it's doing it now. Alright, so add all the stuff in there. And it's gonna take a little bit of time. It seems like it's, let's see, is it building stuff or no? I guess it's, yeah, it's still grabbing all the data. Kirsten says you can just do go get u-v to clone and update all your project's dependencies. Yo, thank you. I was wondering how to do an update. I never really found out. Oh snap! Things changed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. I was originally working on let's turn off case sensitivity. I was really working on, let's see, does it actually oh wait, yeah, that's weird. I thought that I think it might not know where my stuff is anymore. It might not like know where, because I know that basically it did update it. Let's see. Kristen says you only did go get for one of the raylib dependencies. Which one did I do? I thought I did raylib. Yeah. Okay, so maybe that's what it is. Yeah. So let's try this. Oops. Oh, I guess it's because, yeah, I'm not using a version control thing. Let's see. How did I do this again? How do I do it from scratch? It's not hard at all to do from scratch. I just don't recall. It definitely knows that it's there, but it doesn't know. Let's see. Alright, so it's definitely got that. Okay, it's got RayMath already. Yeah, I thought it seems like it grabbed everything that it was originally in the folder, but for whatever reason. Let me just take a look at the instructions. I'm trying to be fancy and it's not paying off. It's down here. Let's see here. Okay, so you got everything. Go get VU. Okay, this. Alright, that might have been it. Nope. Let's see. What did I do? Weird. It's like it doesn't know where this stuff is anymore. But not all of them. Now, I'm wondering if this has something to do with. Oh, this is RLGL maybe. I think I'm getting a kind of on the cusp of what exactly is causing this. I feel like I kind of understand what's going on here. Let's just like do that real quick. Well, I can't do that actually. We'll just do this. It's weird. It's like it doesn't know that it's there. It's so weird. Okay. Undefined. Raylib that. Oh, that's right. Fine. Alright. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna close this down. Just make sure that there's nothing kind of weird going on there. And I'm pretty sure that this is the entirety of it. I don't think there's anything I'm missing here with regard to this. Yeah, it's definitely not seeing everything though. All right, let's try this again, just from a new project, real quick. I'm thinking, yeah, that's what Christian says. That looks all right. I wonder if the upstream API changed. When was the last time you cloned raylib? Maybe the API did change because it just was updated to 2.0, and I was using basically the same raylib for the past, like, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 months. Not that long, since I guess April, so two or 3 months. So that might explain why it wasn't working. Let's just do a quick test here. Alright, and now let's do... Oh, I've forgotten the command. Let me check my batch file. Go build, okay. So I'll just do go... Right, let's see. We'll just go run. Go... Build. Go build. And then /test. So that might be what I need to do. Let me see. Okay. So it looks like it is working correctly. It's just a matter of, yeah, it looks like it's working correctly. I might just have to rebuild my project. That might be why I did. It's kind of like messing up. Let's see. Go help build. I might have to like wipe what I built already. Okay, maybe I have to force rebuilding. Let's see, go build /source -a. Oh, oops. Build -a. Christian says, yeah, load sprite font doesn't seem to exist in raylib anymore. Really? Let me take a quick look there. Whoa. Yeah, this is bananas. I had no idea. Yeah, now it's just called font. It's so weird because I thought that this, well, yeah, I don't remember it changing, but it must have. This is a cheat sheet by for raylib, by the way. this is like a nice little quick reference card. But yeah, here we go, version 2.0.0. So that might explain why I'm having these messages. So let's try that again. I'm updated. I'm updated now. All right, so that's fine. So it's not load sprite font, now it's load font. There we go. It's not a sprite font, I'm guessing it's just a font, yeah. Alright, that's good. Now it's saying that there's no begin 2D mode. Now it's begin mode 2D. Oh. Alright, now it's saying can't use screen W as type float 32 and field value. Oh, rectangles. Oh, snap. Rectangles. Oh my goodness. Rectangles don't take in 32s anymore. They take, let me see. Why can't I jump to the struct anymore? That's so strange. I can't jump to the struct. I used to be able to, but I can't anymore. Alright, well, I'm thinking that it might be like the I can't think of what it's called. I can't jump to anything in raylib. That's weird. I can't control jump there. Alright, well, I think it's because that basically rectangles don't take integers anymore. They take float 32s. Yeah, everything's float 32s now. Alright, looks like we're back to normal. That's weird. There's some kind of like little drawing things here. Alright, but anyway, I'll have to check that out later. It might be a bug with 2.0, raylib 2.0. But anyway, what we'll do now is... Yeah, it's so strange. I can't jump to it. I just straight up cannot jump to it. Jump to any raylib stuff. It's like it doesn't know that it's there. Okay. Now that's weird because like I can jump to the code here. Yeah, so weird. All right, well, whatever. All right, it knows how to get it. It knows how to get there from like its own thing, but not from my code for some reason. That's so weird. Sad face. All right, I'll figure it out. It's just an editor thing. All right, so cool. Yeah, this is working nice and pretty cool. Let's make it so that the puddles actually show up correctly. And we can do that by, let's see, the raindrop dies. And then the cloud removes it and it adds it to the, yeah, adds a puddle. Okay, so we're gonna do it like this. P equals puddle P dot position dot X equals C dot raindrops I dot position. I'll just do it like that. Bonk. Alright, that might give us something. Whoops. Index out of range. Oh, okay, yeah. Alright, that should be good. Okay, so okay. It does not look correct, but I mean it's working. It's just it looks trash, but it's working. Alright, let's see. Dark blue. Let's try spiffing it up a little bit. Alright, we got that. We want to also draw the puddles below the clouds. Yeah, also we want to draw clouds on top. So that I'm gonna have to separate the cloud drawing into two different sections. That's not bad. That's not horrible looking. I think what I'm gonna do is, because this is pretty cool. I'm gonna make it so that this is one color firstly, because that's ugly. No straight pixels. All right, so I don't want it to look like a fish. Snow says maybe make them grow over time the longer they sit. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do that. I'm probably gonna have to do that because it's too static as it stands. But the idea is solid, I think. I wonder. Yeah, if they spread, I think it could work really well. I think it would be good if they were darker blue, actually. Nope. Not that much. Again, not that much. Not that much. Let's see. Alright. Oh, it's because red is already 0, basically. Okay, I got it. Alright, so let's try this again. 40. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. Let's go for a little bit more. Oh, no, not that much. Let's see, 60 on G. It'd be nice if there was more color stuff to work with raylib. That's next to, like, invisible. Let's go for black. Let's just go for, like, black. Just to see if it actually does kind of... That's not bad. That's not bad, to be honest. Now all I need is just a button to basically zap the puddles and turn them back into rain. I'm gonna do that real quick before I sign off, because I just want to see like if this is a viable thing. Let's see. If his actions is down lightning. I guess the easiest thing to do would be to put this logic on the puddles. No. We'll just do it like this. For P in, let's see, range world dot puddles P dot image if C dot world dot puddles P. Well, I guess I could just do it like this for now. If P dot position rain math dot vector to distance P dot position to rain math dot vector to distance P dot position. So the position to the puddle, and then the cloud's position is less than 16. Then we'll just say c.fuel plus equal dt divided by 2. And then we would also have to remove the puddle. But that's the general idea, is that basically you can reclaim your wasted puddles, your wasted rain rather, by shocking it. So let's see. Just add something to shock. I have so much. Okay, so basically it's working. So you rain, and then you can press that to go up on rain. Yeah, okay, so it's working. It's just I have to remove the puddles now. Alright. Alright, that's not bad. That's not bad. I just have to figure out how to remove the puddles. Not figure out. I know how to do that. But basically I just have to remove the puddles. And we're good to go. Essentially. Okay, so let's try this. Alright, I'll do this. I'll make this a little more comfortable for myself. Because basically, at different points in time, I'm removing things from the world, and it makes more sense to actually have something that does that, rather than, like, not a function that does that. Because otherwise, it's kind of awkward. Polyscone says, hey, what are you working on? Yo, I'm working on this game that's like blowing minds. It's blowing my mind at least. Check, so get it. Get this. You're a cloud. You can rain. And you can replenish your rain by shocking things. I haven't gotten that far yet, but that's the general idea. It's weird. I thought I saw the whatchamacallits move. I thought I saw the plant move. That's the general idea. I think that it could work. I think it could work, especially once I add more stuff that you can shock. Because right now we're starting off with rain, but in game you won't. You'll just start off as a normal cloud, but you'll be able to shock things to get rain, and then you can rain on things to change stuff. You'll also be able to I'm guessing you'll probably be able to do other things too. So shocking is like the first and foremost, like, of course, action. But then you can also rain on stuff to change things. So exactly how this is all gonna work, I have no idea, but it's fun. It's basically mechanics, just pure mechanics. But this has been real. This has been real. I think this is gonna be the end though, because I've been going for quite a while and it's wearing on me. Well, this is not bad. Like this is not a bad start. Polyscone says, looks cool. The rain cloud reminds me of the first black and white game. Never played it, but I'm glad to hear that. So now I gotta figure out exactly what happens if you rain and you don't have enough, if you rain and you have not enough cloud. Like if you rain, like you shock something and you I guess if you shock something, it turns to water, essentially, on the ground. If you shock water and you have enough cloud power already, then it shouldn't do anything. Okay, so we'll do that. We can do that. We can finish off with that. Actually, no, because I have to figure out exactly how I want to do this removing puddles thing. It's interesting. I have a general idea of what I'm going to do. It might be better to put everything in one list. That way it's easier to basically handle stuff like this rather than doing things the way that the way I'm currently doing it. It might be better, yeah, if I put everything in one list, then it's easier to remove things later, I guess. Something like that. Okay, so anyway, that's it. I'm good on this. I have made solid of progress on this, and it's looking pretty good, and it's shaping up pretty well. Thank you very much for watching. I've been SolarLune. It's been real, as usual, as always. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them on this video or on other videos, and yeah, I'll be happy to, well, I'll try to answer them. I know I don't answer questions nearly as often as I used to, but at the same time, it's, you know, kind of hard sometimes to keep up with all the questions. But please do feel free to keep asking them, and I'll be happy to answer if possible. So beyond that, I have a Discord server you can check out and hang out. The link's in the description, should be. If you want to support me, please feel free to check out my itch.io page, my Steam pages, all that stuff, Steam page, all that stuff. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. I've been SolarLune. You have a nice day. See ya.